In today's video, we'll review the Osmo Mobile 3 and take a look at all the features and functions. Hi all, AJ here from Liquid Earth. This is the Osmo Mobile 3. It's a brilliant gimbal in my opinion. It's not perfect, but it comes pretty close. It's lightweight with a good ergonomic feel to it. It's quite rigid plastic. It feels reasonable quality. The gimbal itself gives great stabilised footage. I've been really pleased with it over the last few weeks that I've been using it. At the front we've got 3 buttons. You've got the M button that you can map to a quick menu that I've done here. So you've got all of the photo and video functions on the left hand side, and if you scroll using the joystick over to the right hand side, you've got 4 different shooting modes. So let's explore those. You've got follow mode. We press M, we can confirm that. So follow mode lets you tilt the camera, it lets you turn the camera, but it doesn't let you roll the camera, so the roll axis is locked. In the tilt locked mode, we can no longer go up and down, so the tilt axis itself is locked, so we can keep a fix on the horizon. We can still go left and right, and notice as we pan, it gives you a really slow motion. It starts really slowly, it ends really slowly to give you that really smooth footage. So as soon as I turn the joystick, there's a little bit of a delay, and that's great for getting that really smooth flowing footage. Let's go back in. So the next mode that we've got is the FPV mode, and in the FPV mode we can now rotate the camera on an axis like an aeroplane mode, so none of the axes are locked. We can go up and down, we can go left and right, and we can roll the camera. And then the final mode is the spin shot mode. This allows you to spin the camera in a 360, 180, so you can get some cool shots. Great for transition effects. Let's go back into the M menu and we'll go back into our tilt lock. That's probably my favorite one. And with this joystick, you can't point it as a torch mode like you can with many gimbals. This one, you have to turn it to go up and down. There's a trigger at the front which is really useful. It's got multiple functions. If we press it once, then it will track whatever's in the center of the frame. We can move the phone, the gimbal, and nothing's moving. It's tracking the green area. Let's press twice, we can reset the gimbal's angle. If we press it 3 times, we turn the camera around. So now the camera's facing me, and again I can 1 click and press the active track. Now it's found me, and it's going to keep that green box around me no matter if I move. We can still use the joystick, so I can position myself in the frame if I wish. If I want to be in the left third rather than right in the center, then just use the joystick to adjust that. Press 3 times again and we're going to turn the camera back around. If you press once and hold on the trigger, it's going to lock all of the axis in place. So now no matter what I do with the gimbal, it's locked exactly where I wanted it. If you press the trigger twice but hold on the second time, then it activates sport mode and it shows you on the screen there. Now we can pan fast moving subjects really quick. So for the M button, a single press is going to alternate between photo and video in default mode, or you can choose to map it so that you've got all of your shooting options on the left and use the joystick to go to the 4 video modes on the right hand side. Double clicking the M button is going to rotate it horizontally and vertically, and triple clicking is going to turn it off. So the Osmo Mobile 3 has 7 video modes altogether. It also has time-lapse, hyperlapse, and it has a cool motion time-lapse too, as well as a couple of options on panoramics. So let's take a look at the hyperlapse first. All you got to do is choose the hyperlapse and then press the record to start, and then you start walking. Hyperlapse is just like a time-lapse, only you're holding the gimbal and walking through a busy environment generally. So press record to start and press record to stop. Let's show you an example. Time-lapse options are really great. Stick it on a tripod. we've got a little down arrow here where we can choose the interval time by just scrolling left and right. We can choose the total duration, again scrolling left and right, and can even choose a path, and it shows you at the very top how long the final output's going to be. So in this situation it's going to be 2 seconds. Let's change it to 2 minutes, and that goes up to 4 seconds. So how do we use it? Literally all you do is press the path button, position the gimbal, put it on a tripod, it's much easier. Press the path button again, position the gimbal, and you can choose up to 4 different paths. And then when you press record, the gimbal's going to go into action, and it's going to go from the very first path to the last path. And it gives you a little countdown timer at the top to show you exactly how long you've got left. Let's show you a few examples. So at the side here you've got the charging button. You've also got a little port here that you can charge the phone directly with a USB, which is useful. And you've got a zoom button on the left hand side, so we can literally zoom in and out. And you've also got the option to change the zoom speed as well. And the joystick control can be changed to slow, medium and fast too. And it's also sensitive, so if you press it slightly to the left it will move slowly, and if you then hold it fully over to the left then it speeds up. Now the Mimo app comes free, you just download it. Once you've opened you can do all your video and photography in the Mimo app, but it won't necessarily have all of the options on your phone depending on which phone you have. Now I have the iPhone, and the vast majority of the options that I can get in the native phone camera app are here on the gimbal. That might not be the case at the moment with all cameras. But what's cool is you can go into any mode. So if we go into video and tilt locked mode, you don't have to now shoot in the app. You can transfer over to your native camera app and it's still going to be in tilt locked. So let's go into the settings themselves. So at the very top there you've got the flash, you can turn that on and off. You've got some options to change your white balance, and you've also got the one press active track. Now it will give you a warning after about 5 minutes, I think it is, because it does suck some battery power out of your phone in particular, so you can turn that on or off here. If you go to the next icon down, that's the gimbal mode. Now here you've got your 4 options there. I'll show you how to map those in a moment. You can turn the sport mode on here, which is useful, particularly if you've got it on a tripod or a monopod, because you can't reach the trigger to turn the sports mode on. Here's your zoom speed. You've got control stick speed, you've got control stick control direction. So for that you can choose horizontal or vertical, in which case the joystick then will only move up and down, left and right, or you've got free and the joystick can then move at a diagonal angle too. You can invert your controls if you wish to, and then press M button and you see I've mapped that to the quick menu. If you like you can keep that on photo and video, that's the default mode. And if we go into photo and video and use the M button now, it just switches between the photo and video. Okay, and then there's a little adjustment which I haven't tried out yet. It says horizontal gimbal adjustment. Then at the bottom there we've got some device management options that I haven't explored at the moment. Let's hit the next button down, and now you can change your resolution and your frame rates. Now it is camera dependent, so depending on which camera you have you may not have all of those options. And then on the right hand side you've got this little hand here, and that's gesture control, and that's really cool. So if we turn the gesture control on, and then you can either follow and shoot, which means it's going to actively track when the gesture control's on. Let's show you what we mean. So I'm going to triple press the camera and it's going to spin that around for me. Let's come out of that. And now we just hold the hand up. It's going to give you a little count in, and then it's going to follow me because I've got the follow locked on as well. And again we can just adjust that using the joystick, so we can frame wherever we want in the picture. Really cool. The only thing is, come on Osmo, you have to press the record to stop it on the camera itself or on your device. it doesn't have a gesture control for stop. Now you've also got slow motion as well. It does only give you one option on here, so that is where I would go into the native app and choose my slow motion. I would just choose what video mode I want to be in through the Mimo app first. Okay, let's take a look at the panoramic options. There's two options. You've got 3x3. If you press the icon here, you can choose between 3x3, which we'll try first. Position your subject roughly in the center. Press the record and let it do its stuff. Keep it as steady as you can. That's quickly going to put together a 3x3 panoramic and stitch it in no time at all. There you go, how cool is that? Back in the pano, we'll choose 240 and give that one a go. And there's a panoramic 240 for you as well. And then you also got this story mode that you can scroll into. Really useful, gives you little clips. You can choose from many templates on the right hand side there. When you press start, you've got 4 clips in this particular example, and it shows you how many seconds each clip is. And all you do is you position your phone, press the record, and it's going to do whatever movement is programmed into that preset. It lets you retake it if you like, or you can just move through to the next one. And let's press record, let it do its stuff. You can press record on your gimbal as well, and it moves along, and then it will start to record when you press the record button itself. So press it once, it's going to move along. Press it again, it's going to record. When you're finished, you can retake any image by pressing the retake, or you can preview it. And if you're happy with that, you can choose next. Turn off some of the overlays and press save. It's going to automatically apply music, and it's going to apply transitions and color grading in some of them as well. You can either save and post, or come out of that, it's still going to save it onto your phone. And then if we go into our phone,
here I am where the movie started, facing at a photo they've taken. Space tree flying through the skies, and battles happen everywhere.
So that's the Osmo Mobile 3. It's a brilliant gimbal, absolutely feature packed. If you're thinking about it, go and buy one. But there are a couple of little niggles for me. When you start up the camera, it starts in portrait mode, and you double click it to get to the landscape mode. I wish it'd just start in the landscape mode. The second one for me is, if you want to go from high to low or low to high, you have to turn the gimbal like this. You can't just shoot by pointing it in a torch mode like many other gimbals have. So that's just the design of this gimbal, I guess. And the final one for me is that in the gesture control, although you can start it, you can't stop it. The Mimo app itself is responsive, works, connects. There is some issues occasionally with connection, but in the main, it's a really decent app from DJI, and they're updating it all of the time too. So that's it from me. I hope that was useful for you. If it was, give me the thumbs up, really appreciated. If you want to see more, subscribe, and I hope to see you guys next time. Take care.